Alright, just doing a quick mic check and making sure everything is working before I do anything else. Let's see here. I'll go ahead and post that we are live and we will get started. Yeah, I wish I had more room on this desk. And we'll definitely start things off. I'll definitely talk about today's races as well. There's that post, there's that post, and that one. All right. How you feeling? Oh, I'm good. Just been working hard with my job and getting restart underway, getting all that work done. So, and we'll discuss that as well during the stream today, for sure. I just realized I should probably plug my headphones in. I totally forgot to do that. Alrighty, Pumpkin Nation, TV8s, how you doing? Everybody else, how you doing? Let's see if I can plug in my headphones here. Totally forgot to do that. So, while I discuss everything and everything else in between, I will run 3 mock races today. So, one, and it's all going to be Sunday Night Lights 1997. It's going to be the Trucks, Busch, and Cup. And I'll reveal the truck and Busch races and what those will be. Cup will be at regular Talladega, not the SNL version of Talladega, so that'll be fun. What did you think of the races today? I admit I was at work, and I did not see much of the ARCA race. I know that Jake Finch won, so first win for him. That's pretty cool. The Xfinity race, you know, at least there weren't like 20 cautions there at the end, right? So, congrats to Jesse Love, first career win. I really thought Brendan Poole had it for a moment, man. I thought he was finally going to get closure from 2016, and just couldn't. You know, it would have been great to see one of those small teams or drivers you don't normally see up front win, but unfortunately, you know, I think a lot of people are asking, like, how the heck did Jesse Love, like, manage to make it to the finish, despite the fact that he hadn't been on pit road the longest out of anyone else. I think it's just mainly because he has one of the best engines in the field than most of the drivers in the top 10, and what can you do? So, I knew it was going to be tough. I knew Jesse was the favorite at that point. On that final restart. So, I also was really pulling for Deegan because, you know, Sunday Night Lights thing. I want to see a female win a race. I think that would be really big for NASCAR. So, oh man, it would have been great to see one of the small teams win, but can't get them all the time. So, congrats to Jesse Love and Jake Finch. That's 2 first-time winners, isn't it? Are we going to get one tomorrow? Perhaps. Who knows? You know, maybe Todd Gilliland. Maybe Ty Gibbs. Maybe Carson Hocevar. Who knows? By the way, let me know who you think's going to win the Cup race tomorrow. I'm a huge advocate for small, underfunded teams. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You know, they worked their tails off to get to where they are. I know some people may like say, "Oh, there's such a nuisance on the track." I'm like, you haven't been there. You know, I've walked around garage areas at certain racetracks, and those guys go to work. I mean, they go to work with what they have, and I respect them a lot for it. So, And even like last spring, I believe it was Jeb Burton who got the win for Jordan Anderson's team. That was special because, again, that's a team you don't see win a whole lot. So, I remember I chatted and interviewed with Jordan Anderson at Kentucky in 2018. During that time, he had a pickup truck and a small trailer carrying the one truck he had. Like, literally, I was asking, like, hey, can I interview him? I was like, sure. He hops out of his truck. What's going on, man? I'm like, wow. And now look at him, right? Now he's got, like, a 3-car program, and he's doing pretty good for himself. So it's kind of cool to look back on that kind of stuff and see how far some of these smaller teams have come, And you never know now, right, what current teams now. You saw teams like Trackhouse in 2311 debut in 2021. Look where they are now. Both teams are in contention week in, week out, and they got there pretty quick. And Spire's the same way. They're getting a lot better. I'm going to say, this may sound like a bold take, but Carson Hocevar, I think he's got something. He has speed. I'm impressed with him. I think he'll continue to get better. Anyway, before I get on with anything, and I hope this works correctly, at least I'm hoping. I don't know if the audio is going to play. It's just car sounds. If not, I apologize. But I want to show you all a little sneak peek of of Sunday Night Lights restart. Let me see. Yeah, the audio. Background audio is not. My apologies, guys. But yep. Here's a first look at what's to come. And again, a huge thanks to Jets Racing Designs for making the graphics. I really thought the audio was going to play this, so I apologize for that. So yeah, working hard, and part 1 will be premiering May 3rd. So that is the plan. And part 2 will debut the week after. So again, I've been hard at work with things. And I just figured I'd at least wanted to do this stream just to keep in touch with everybody, because obviously when it comes to the big videos, I do take some time in between. There's a little bit of a time period where there isn't as much going on. That's just part of everything, but I'm really excited to show you guys basically just rewriting the rewrite in a way, right? I think what's going to be fun about this is just getting to showcase those earlier years with better quality, because I was looking back at the prologue and I'm like, wow, that's all could have done a lot better. That was like 4 years ago. So just the way I can tell things a lot better, the way I can present things better, that's part of the goal, and to showcase more of a little bit of a catch-up, if you will. Just getting caught up, especially on things that happened in the 80s. And it has taken a bit. The biggest thing I will say is I've done a better job saving my replays since like the 88-89 season. There were some replays that I just happened to have saved that are actually kind of crucial. So I admit I could have done that a lot better. But now I will get to present all of this in so much better way, and I think it'll be a good way to reintroduce the series, especially for new people who haven't seen this before. I just think that's going to be really good moving forward. So May 3rd will be part 1. It'll be 2-parter. So I think it's okay. Part 1 will cover 1981, and then right when I get to 89, I'm going to stop, and then part 2 will be 89 to 97, and then after that, it's full on to 1998. So that is the game plan. Get that out of the way, get that presented out to everybody, and I really think you guys will enjoy it. I'm really looking forward to showing you all this. So it's been really fun kind of looking back on how much things have changed, and it really puts a perspective into like how much NASCAR changes. The sport changes so much. Even in the span of like 5 years, it can change so much. I mean, you look at NASCAR now compared to 2019, a A lot has changed since then. It's crazy to think. 2019 is not that long. But anyway, there you have it. There's your first little sneak peek of what is to come for Sunday Night Lights Racing. So with that being said, alright, I am going to get the first race going here for you guys. So, we're going to start with the 1997 Truck Series for Sunday Night Lights. And it will be at... Let me load it up here. And I saved my qualifying results for this, at least. We are going to be at the Dodge Motordrome. Of course, a recreation of the famous EA track, Dodge Raceway Stadium. This was made by Armory Digital and Mystical and all those good folks there. So that's what we're going to do here. And then I'll tell you all what the Xfinity race is, and then we'll get on with the Cup race. These headphones are falling apart. I think, let me see, somebody, who do you think will win the Cup race tomorrow? That's a toughie. There's clearly a ton of favorites, obviously. Hey, what's going on? Let me see here. I gotta check my stream, make sure. Yeah, let me turn the volume down here. There we go. Okay. I just wanted to make sure my voice didn't get swallowed in by the audio of the game. Alright, so...
Drivers, to your cars.
That's strange. Okay. Yeah, let me know if there's any issues with the audio at all or anything else. Obviously. But with that being said... Yeah, I apologize. I'm gonna... I literally, grabbed dinner and got home just in time, so I may mute my mic for the first few laps just so I can eat real quick. I apologize. A bit of my fault because I was watching the race and I was like, oh, I can run out and grab food real quick. But yeah, let me know if there's any issues with the audio or anything like that. So with that being said... Man, this track is gorgeous, isn't it? Alright, Jeff Bodine, who's a two-time Truck Series champion now. Volume is good. Good. Thanks, Daniel. I really appreciate it. So on the front row, you got Jeff Bodine, Ernie Irvin starting next to him in his MB&A Ford. And then behind them are Brian Reffner and Cindy Peterson, one of the Dodge Rams, the Dodge Ram racing team, looking to improve on 1998. Thanks, Michael. I appreciate it, man. And then we got Kevin Harvick and Mark Gibson in row 3. How about that? Wow. Good qualifying run for him. Behind them, you'll see Kenny Irwin Jr. and Ricky Johnson in the 1. And followed by that, you got Lance Nork in the 90 and the 81 of Robert Presley. Next up is the 51 of Scott Lagasse. And you got the 17 of Greg Biffle. There we go. Exactly weird. All right. Terry Cook and Jimmy Hensley behind them. Then you got Bill Sedgwick and Stacy Compton, Ron Hornaday Jr. and Dave Resendez. There we go. We got Toby Butler and Roger Mears Jr., followed by Jack Sprague and Rick Crawford. Michael Dawkin and Tony Raines. Butch Gillen, Tony Roper. Am I pressing the wrong button? Alright. I don't know. It just seems to be acting weird as I switch the cars here. Garrett Evans and Rick Corelli. Bob Keselowski and Chris Trickle. Doug George and Randy Talsma. You got Butch Miller, Dennis Setzer. Frog Hall, Joe Ruttman, Mike Bliss. Wow, Paige Jones all the way back here. Not a good qualifying run for him. And Ted Musgrave rounding out the field there. Yeah, I'm going to have to get a really nice view of the track here. God, this is so nice. Can you imagine a track like this in real life? It probably won't ever happen. I'm sure the sightlines for football won't be as great in the upper decks, but man, it would be really cool. Let's see how much time we have left. Let me fast forward there. Now we're under a minute until we get rolling here at Dodge, at the Dodge Motordrome. So like I said, I'll say green flag. Feel free to talk about anything, ask any questions. I just realized I don't think I ever answered the question of who I think will win tomorrow. I'm going to go with Ross Chastain. He was so close to winning at Daytona. Suarez won Atlanta. And he won there 2 years ago. So, love to see him get a win and smash a watermelon. And a guy who I'd really like to see win is SVG. So, love his Wendy's paint schemes, man. I am pulling for the guy. I'd love to see him do well. And he's been good so far. It's a shame he ran out of gas on that second to last restart there.
Drivers, start your engines.
Looks like Chicago. Yeah, I think the city in the background reminds me of New York because I see the new World Trade Building up there. Oh, happy birthday, Yogi Bear. Happy birthday. All right. Pace car down pit road. Boy, pit road's going to be really interesting. We got 100 laps in store for you here today. Jeff Bodine, Ernie Irvin, Brian Reffner, Cindy Peterson will lead the field to the green flag. And we are set and ready to go for Truck Series action here at the Dodge Motordrome. Green flag's in the air and we're underway. Man, Mark Gibson's way up on the track. He actually scraped the wall. I don't know what just happened there with the 15, and Kenny Irwin Jr. had to go down pit road. So some issues for some of these drivers here early, as Ernie Irvin's going to stick to the outside, and he will take the lead from Jeff Bodine, as already they're approaching Kenny Irwin Jr., who had an issue there at the green flag. I don't know exactly what had occurred there, but might have had some sort of issue. You will know new information on SNL 1998 very soon. And when that information is ready, obviously, and of course the video, I will happily pass along to you guys. Meanwhile, Ernie Irvin has pulled away. Trying to catch that lapped car of Kenny Irwin Jr., excuse me. Jeff Bodine's a bigger star in the SNL timeline. Yeah, I mean, you know, he's been pretty solid in this timeline. He's just about where he was in real life. The only issue was that he just kind of fell off real badly. Oh, we got a caution already. We'll have to see what happened here. All right. Oh, wow. All right, we got a pile up here. Ooh, we got quite the pile up, actually. The 6 of Rick Corelli and Dennis Setzer. Ooh, sorry for the lag there. And oh, man, the big one. Just about the big one has struck. Frog Hall involved. I think Joe Ruttman got involved. Michael Dawkin with heavy damage. And, ooh, some leaders already pitting. Ernie Irvin. Let me get you. Yeah, because the pit stalls are actually like inside the stadium, which I think is a neat future. Will Dodge Motordrome be part of SNL in the future? I don't know. If it does happen, it'll be quite a ways out. This looks like something that wouldn't happen until probably late 2000s, early 2010s. I'm not really sure. Haven't really given it much thought. It would be cool, but just depends on realness and everything else. We do have plans for Jeff Bodine. I won't say much. He's really had a great turnaround since moving down to the truck series, and really has really redeemed himself. Just a great comeback for him. Mike Harmon, yeah, he was in the Busch series. He drove the 64 for Shoemaker Racing. Yeah. It would be cool. I don't know if, it would take a while, but I would love to have, like, a website where it's just a big database to show, like, all the results from all the races and all that. Kind of like an SNL version of Racing Reference. That would be really neat. That, right now, is just a dream. So, alright. So, let's see who's all leading here. Cindy Peterson is leading. So, it'd be pretty huge if she could pick up the win here. Kevin Harvick is behind her. Robert Presley, Dave Resendez, Jimmy Hensley, Ron Hornaday, Tony Roper, Chris Trickle, Randy Tulsma, and Jack Sprague are your top 10. Interesting, some leaders pit early, some did not. So strategies will be interesting here as the race moves forward. We're only a tenth of the way in. As we're under caution, I am going to eat my dinner really quick. So I'm going to mute my mic because I just don't like the idea of eating while the mic is on. That's just kind of disrespectful. Give me 1 second here. And with that, we are going racing here. Peterson, Harvick, Presley, your top 3. And so those cars that got involved in that lap 8, lap 9 pile-up on the inside, the lap cars. And here we go. Green flag back in the air. We see Harvick peeking out to the outside as I pause my eating real quick. Looking for the lead here. So now 17 laps are complete. Will the Cup Series go more international in SNL? Let's see. What's the best way I can answer this? I think there is a good opportunity for sure. We've had Calder Park, we've had Suzuka, we've had the International All-Star. So I would say there's a good possibility for sure. And meanwhile, new leader, Kevin Harvick, out in front, who had a strong rookie season in the Truck Series and looking to pick up another win here today. Meanwhile, I believe that is Dave Resendez on the outside there, looking for second. He is battling both Peterson and Hensley, and he gets a run coming off of turn 4, I think that was. I was off a turn. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, confusing myself here. Sometimes I'm directionally challenged. What's in store for alternate history's favorite driver, Bubba Nissen? He really has. He's been like the biggest surprise story in this timeline. Just completely unexpected name. I never even heard about him until I started doing this. Like always, I think he's just doing fine and he's going to continue to succeed and see if he can score another championship, you know? No matter what time, no matter what alternate history you live in, Mikey always gets his first win in 2001. Yeah, we'll see. He's got to turn things around for sure. So Harvick now leads. We've been green for a bit now, which it's going to be interesting too. If we can get long enough of a green flag run, well, pit stops will be interesting, and especially with how pit road is at this track, it's very, very, very tricky. Do a spectator camera here. More street races. Again, like the international races, the possibility is definitely there. I will say NASCAR is in a good spot right now in this timeline. Probably even bigger than in real life. There's a lot of big superstars right now. There's a lot of big names. The female movement has helped tremendously with names like Patty Moy, Shauna Robinson, Tammy Jo Kirk, and now Kelly Earnhardt. I think that plays a part of it for sure. So I think NASCAR's in a pretty good spot as well as we inch closer to the 2000s and the 21st century. Yeah, I mean, Kelly's had a good rookie season. There were some inconsistencies, but she picked up a couple wins, and one of them being the Daytona 500. So she's in a good spot. Honestly, I really think she's going to continue to improve. Do you think AK Racing or Bubba Nissen's team? I just pretty much called it Bubba Nissen Racing. Will they have teams in the lower divisions? That I don't know. Anything's possible. I'll leave it as that. But, I think that question will probably be answered as time continues on. We'll just have to wait and see. Alright. I don't want to stay muted for too long, so. Do you think NASCAR will split like IndyCar will split eventually? Do you mean in real life or Sunday Night Lights? I just want to make sure. Sunday Night Lights, NASCAR's probably in a good spot. Bubba Motorsports has a nice ring to it. It does, actually. Kind of gives me vibes of like the fantasy teams from the EA Sports games. That's what it kind of feels like. But I do like that. So Kevin Harvick's starting to pick apart some lap traffic here. He's got about a 2.7, almost 2.8 second lead over Dave Resendez. 2.7 in real life. NASCAR's got in real life now. I think NASCAR is in a good spot. There's a lot of momentum. TV ratings have been phenomenal this year. The only thing I can say is there's some drivers. We need to start pushing the drivers out there more. And just being able to innovate, do things a little different, right? I'm nostalgic myself all the time, but I do know that NASCAR does these different things because they have to. They do all these different things in order to stay relevant, and the viewership's been better. I don't think it'll happen unless something insane were to occur. How I see it is, like I said, NASCAR is in a good spot. The momentum's been up. Having teams in here like Trackhouse doing these different things really helps. Give it time. I will say that. And I think it'll continue to get better for NASCAR. I don't see a split occurring, even though I know there's a lot of differences between how NASCAR should go with things. Like, should we go back to the way things were or whatnot? People hate change. Me, you, whoever it may be, we're humans and we hate when things change. But as much as it's fun to reminiscent back then, and it always will, it's great to celebrate all that because it's part of the history. And this sport has so much history in the 76 years it's been around. But we got to be able to continue to grow as a sport and adapt and innovate, which is why also we did events like the LA Coliseum and the Chicago Street Course, just to be able to do these different things. And it's benefited the sport. It's brought in, a lot of ticket sales from those races were from people who never even been to a race. So I'm like, hey, what do you know? And you hope that they're like, hey, this NASCAR's pretty cool. I want to check it out. Because NASCAR's a sport for everybody, Everybody could enjoy it, It's not, how do I put it lightly? It's not a regional sport. It's national and international, and can be international. So, with Divided Ending, like I said, it's on the shelf. I kind of felt like, again, I was not painting the love for motorsports in a positive light in terms of how I wanted to go with this channel. And I want to showcase why racing is so great, why we love it, what makes it so special, and, and hopefully it can open eyes and people will go, oh yeah, wow, I didn't think about that for racing. So Danny Marshall sold the Cup team to Schoonover and Speed. That's where SS Motorsports comes from. Terry and Lake Speed, they just practically co-own the team. And Grant Adcox is driving for himself, yes. Yeah, I think DEI's in a good spot. They're definitely going to be a team to watch out for moving forward. And what did I get for dinner? I got Taco Bell. Why? Because why not? I just got paid and I figured why not. I wanted to run out and grab it real quick. And next thing I knew, I'm like, oh man, it's getting really close to stream time. I got to hurry. So, plus I just didn't want to miss the finish to the Xfinity race. So Harvick's lead has actually been decreasing. I mean, then again, he's been stuck with these lapped cars here. You see, he just got around Greg Biffle. Now getting past Bill Sedgwick. Although now his lead's starting to open up a little bit more. He got past Dave Resendez. He's pulling away from Resendez now. He was under a second. Now he's over a second. We'll have to see how that continues on. Taco Bell sound effect. Yes, absolutely. Well, we got somebody new in second place, actually. Let's go back here. Chris Trickle in the Zero Truck. He's made his way up to second. Chris Trickle, a young driver trying to prove himself to the NASCAR world that he could be the next big thing. Driving for that Star Nursery race team, the Zero team. Oof, goodness, sorry for the lag there. Do you think you will make an international series in SNL? I don't know. Right now we got 6 series we're covering. Like I said, the potential for international races are most certainly there, at least. So I'm not really sure. Chris Trickle trying to chase down Kevin Harvick, and he's been doing that. So let's see. We're getting close to 20 laps to go. 40 laps. I cannot do math. But we're in the second half of the race. I don't know where I got the 20 from. With that being said, Trickle is now within 0.5 seconds of Kevin Harvick, and it looks like he might be getting around Bill Sedgwick here. That Zero Truck has really come to life here as we head into the second half of this race. Out of all the female drivers in SNL, who are the best 3 on the podium? Ooh, that's a fun question. Well, Patty and Shauna for sure. Patty has more wins, but Shauna has had milestone wins. She has a Busch Series championship. She has a Daytona 500 win and an Indy win. So it can be argued that Shauna could be top of the podium. Even though, to quote Billy Joel, Patty Moyes started the fire. As for third place behind them, that's tough because Tammy Jo Kirk's been good. She hasn't won a cup race yet. I would probably put Kelly Earnhardt there just because she already has made an impact winning the Daytona 500. So probably Robinson, Moyes, and Kelly Earnhardt so far. And who else, right? Who else could show up and potentially be the next female superstar? You never know. Who do I think will win this race? Well, Kevin Harvick's looking good, but I think Chris Trickle has a chance. He's slowly reeling him in. I think Trickle's going to get him here if this keeps up. When you made the channel name change, was that when you made the decision to... Yeah, as I say that, we see Chris Trickle now to the outside of Kevin Harvick. I might be right here. Hopefully I didn't pull an announcer's jinx, though. Trickle's getting held up by Butch Miller in the 20. The idea of it was just to clean things up on my channel and make it look better and more appealing and really finally do something with this channel that I want to have a big focus on, and that's racing, right? Creative motorsports content and painting motorsports in a positive light. So we see Chris Trickle taking the lead here, getting close to 30 laps to go. New leader, the young nephew of Dick Trickle, who has a Daytona 500 win in this timeline. Chris Trickle out in front. You will find out who takes over that 85 when we get to 1998. We already have a plan for that, and we'll let you know what that is for sure. "69 laps are complete as Trickle begins to pull away from Kevin Harvick. Jimmy Hensley back there in third. Honestly, Hensley may actually catch Harvick. When will the next Racing Infinity be? Probably not till after restart at least. Just because right now that's my big focus right now. More of a paraphrase of Billy Joel. Well, I had to do it because I know CBS recently had his, I think it was his 100 performance at Madison Square Garden or something like that, so... Yeah, apparently they re-aired it, I think, yesterday, because I guess CBS cut off the last 2 minutes of it. So I was like, oh, well, that's going to make people... There's some Billy Joel fans out there. They won't be happy about that, so... And again, that's what I heard. I didn't see it, but... So we got about 28 laps to go or so. And now the top three are all together here. So they got a little bit of space. And the next question is, when do pit stops occur? I could see pit stops happening at any time here at this point. So something to keep an eye out for sure. As Hensley is working on Harvick, Chris Trickle trying to pull away with a win here at Dodge Motordrome. So happy IROC is coming back. Yes! I am excited about that. Now, I know they're just bringing out all the old cars. Excuse me. So, yeah, they're bringing out the old cars and kind of like showcasing them in a race. There's been cases of that, where they take these old race cars and still race them. A lot of places do that, which... I met someone like that down in Daytona back in February, and I just listening to them, that was really cool. So, who knows? Maybe at some point, after doing the vintage races, they may decide, hey, let's build a new car and let's compete. They may actually do that at some point. Paul Newman's team, unfortunately, was struggling and did shut down, which is a shame, but the team was really struggling. They eventually lost Hardee's as their sponsor. I will be working on formulating what happens to Danny Marshall since his departure from NASCAR. I'll say he's still racing somewhere. I just don't know what. But I'll leave it as that right now. Meanwhile, battle the top three here. They're all together. Trickle, Harvick, and Hensley. Chris Trickle trying to hang on. See if he can stick to that outside line. As all three of them remain single file. When will Dale Earnhardt retire in SNL? Could be... I don't know. I can't answer it that well yet. I kind of sometimes envision a certain time frame that certain what-if drivers could retire in. But besides that, I'm not really sure. My guess is sometime in the early 2000s, so... Who knows? Things can change, things can happen. But yeah, we got a 3-truck battle for the lead here with 19 laps to go. Kevin Harvick to the outside, trying to get a run going. Not able to, but he's sticking to it. Can he make the move here? Trickle continuing to hang into his own. In Sunday Night Lights, Greg Sachs drove the 18 Hardee's car. That was in this timeline, Paul Newman's team. Dale could be like Petty and race part-time after he retires. Good chance of that, I'd say. I think Dale could probably do a little bit of part-time racing. Probably run the 500 for sure. Again, time will tell. Gonzalo Rodriguez. I admit I don't know that name much, but obviously if that name's worth being discussed to add somewhere in SNL, then we'll certainly discuss it. Getting close to the end of the race here. Harvick still hanging on. Trying to find some sort of way around Chris Trickle. But once again, Trickle's still leading the way. Still a gap between he and I believe that's Mike Bliss up ahead. But there are some lap trucks ahead. They could play a factor. Yeah, I do remember playing the Cars video games. I loved the first one. Second one was okay, and I never played the third one, but yeah, I love playing the first Cars video game. Yeah, excuse me. Oh, yeah, I believe that 13 car was a different team. Oh, hey, I brought up pit stops earlier. Chris Trickle's pitting. Oh, man, with coming to 10 laps to go, too. Goodness. Man, look how nice these pit stalls are. Like, seriously. And I love the signage right here of all the different advertisements. You got Target, iTunes, Diet Coke. That's pretty neat. Let's see. Kevin Harvick to the Busch Series 98. You will find that out in the meantime. We're still playing on things, and we'll let you know what's up for sure when we get close to that. So the 07 is marked as the leader, but I would assume he probably has to pit, because I don't think he pitted before. Mater National. Yeah, I've heard that game, but I don't think I've ever played it. Meanwhile, 38's to the outside of the 0. Trickle's being held up by Scott Lagacy in the 51. The 51 is currently marked as the leader, however. So yeah, some of these guys could not make it on fuel. And because of that, that changes things up as Harvick gets past Scott Lagacy. 6 laps to go for that Rick Hendrick-owned 51 machine. Hensley and Trickle get past him. Right now, though, it is all Scott Lagacy. Ernie Irvan is in second. He's got some work to do, and he's practically almost out of time as we're coming to 4 laps to go here at the Dodge Motordrome. Still with a healthy lead, not going down pit road. But Ernie Irvan, he's got some space now. He's got some free space. And Irvan is catching the 51 pretty quickly. I just don't think he has enough time, though. Or maybe he does. The 51 goes down pit road. He doesn't have enough. Pit strategies. Drama here late. Ernie Irvan comes around. I believe that is, yes, 2 laps to go. I probably did just jinx the 0. Now we just got to see if Ernie Irvan can make it back around. White flag for Ernie Irvan in the 84 truck. That is his own team. And Irvan is going to cruise away with the victory. Ricky Johnson and Lance Nork are second and third. Off turn 4, it's going to be Ernie Irvan picking up the win at the Dodge Motordrome. A big congrats to Ernie Irvan there. Had some drama there late. I figured it was gonna. I had a bad feeling something was bound to happen for sure. Let's take a look at your official standings there. What's it? Greg Moore. Yeah, I did hear about the Greg Moore rumors to NASCAR before he died. It's certainly a possibility, and we'll certainly address that when we get to that point. So Irvan's your winner. Ricky Johnson second. Jeff Bodine third. Lance Nork is fourth. Tony Raines fifth. Toby Butler sixth. Kevin Harvick is seventh. Jimmy Hensley eighth. Chris Trickle ninth. Terry Cook 10th. So at least Harvick, Hensley, and Trickle were able to salvage a top 10. And yeah, good win there for Ernie Irvan. And we'll move on to the second race here shortly. By the way, I know somebody asked about Racing Infinity. I just remembered. Next Saturday, I would like to do a Racing Infinity live and do another live stream, but it's a tentative plan right now. But I'm not sure 100% if I'm going to do it yet or not. It just depends on how much I have with Restart. That'll be the biggest focus. And if I feel like I need that time to work on Restart, then I won't do it. But I will let you guys know throughout the week what I'm planning on doing. So, again, the plan is I want to do a Racing Infinity Live next Saturday. But I cannot fully confirm it just because I want to see where I am in terms of Restart and try and prepare that. I'm hoping I can find time, but I just can't 100% guarantee it right now. So, just a heads up there. I like to say the replays. I do that now, just, they come in handy. As long as you have the RPY files, you can load them up. As long as you have the track and all the cars. Those are the important parts. So yeah, there's your final result. Oh, here's the second half of it. I'll show that to you guys here for a moment. And then we'll move on to the Busch Series. And I will tell you guys because this one's going to be a fun one. Somebody suggested this, and I think this could be a really goofy and really fun one. So, yeah, and at some point here later, I will also show the teaser again for Restart. I'll do that again here in a bit. Let's see. If you can't do it next Saturday, what about the following Saturday? I don't know yet. It's just hard to say right now. I can see Dale retiring while he's still competitive somewhere at earliest 03 or 05 at latest. I can see his struggling having an easier time. Yeah, I mean, certainly. With Dale being there, things are certainly a lot easier. But, again, time will tell. That is not Ernie Irvin's truck, but okay. Okay, that was funny. I saw somebody post about how Ricky Rudd was testing a cup car for Weiler Racing that had the 46 back in like 2006 when they were still like testing the COT. And what's funny is the name Weiler is very familiar where I'm from. I live in Cincinnati. Jeff Weiler is actually like the biggest car dealer name in the Cincinnati area. So the fact that he used to be a team owner is actually really neat. Okay, so I don't have anything spoiler-like in here. It should be fine. Let me see. Make sure I have all the cars I want to use. Yeah, that should be fine. Alright. So the Busch Series. We are heading to Le Mans. Okay, so I know this is a long track. So obviously, the laps aren't going to be as much. I could do pit stops 2x just to make it, just to make it interesting, but I don't want them pitting every lap or 2 laps. I think it should be fine. Yeah, it's a 8.4 mile long course. So, tell you what, I'm going to do a live test run because I want to make sure that, I kind of ran out of time in terms of running a test, so I'm going to try and just make sure things are good. So yeah, we're going to do the 1997 Sunday Night Lights at Le Mans. Again, I am just going to run a quick test and make sure we're good. Oh god, yeah, the pace lap's going to take forever. I didn't think about that. Okay, let me see. Oh, we had a yellow on lap 1. So whoever just commented, the big one happens. I think you predicted it. I may just turn off cautions for this one because it'll take an eternity be under yellow. Like I said, I'm just currently watching the test. Okay. Okay, there's a lot of position changes in one lap, so... I don't know. So I think Junior won the test run. Okay. Alright. I think I have, so, I'm also going to turn off full pace lap because, again, it's a long way around. And, obviously, I don't want you guys sitting there forever like, oh, when's the race going to start? Just to make things intriguing, I will do frequency at 2x, just to see what happens. I think we'll do that, yeah. Alright, so 8 laps at Le Mans with the 97 Busch Series, and I turned off the yellows because the cautions will take forever. So, it's a very long course, so, I mean, We'll go ahead and simulate through practice. I talked so much, I still need to finish eating. Yeah, France. Obviously, kind of timing. The good timing, because the Summer Olympics will be taking place. So who knows? Maybe Sunday Night Lights in 2024, we might still have the International All-Star. You never know, right? So it's just something fun to think about there. All right, let's see here. Qualifying. We have some Cup stars. Jeff Gordon on the pole. 4 minutes a lap. 4.5 almost. Woo! Patty Moyes, second. That is Casey Elliott, not Chase, in third. Mark Martin, Rick Mast. All right. We'll see how this goes. Hi, Jet. There you are. I am doing swell. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. And once again, thank you guys so much for tuning into this stream. As always, I appreciate all of your all's support. And, yep, we're having some fun here tonight. I'm not sure yet with Bill Davis Racing. Obviously, it's just one of those things where,
Drivers, to your car.
Time will tell on what happens. But yeah, we are at Le Mans. So, front row, we got Jeff Gordon, Patty Moyes. Will the big one happen again in turn 1? Possibly. I could see. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Then we got Casey Elliott and Mark Martin, followed by Rick Mast and Tim Feudua. Excuse me. Hermie Sattler, Todd Bodine, Jimmy Spencer and Elliott Sattler. There's Dale Jarrett and Johnny Benson. Tammy Jo Kirk and Blaze Alexander. Let's see. Elton Sawyer and Mike Wallace. Our champion, John Nemechek, hasn't gotten his first win yet. Could it be today? He'll be rolling off about past the top 10 there, followed by Joe Bessie. You see Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Laura Lane, Jason Keller and Michael Waltrip, Randy LaJoy and Hut Strickland, Tony Stewart and Jeremy Mayfield, Brett Bodine and Mark Green, Kevin LePage, Phil Parsons, Grant Adcox, followed by Dale Shaw, Marty Burke and Jeff Fuller, Mike McLaughlin, followed by Dick Trickle, Bobby Daughter and Stevie Reeves, Rodney Combs and Glenn Allen Jr., Jeff McClure, and Mike Harmon. Those Happy Meals are selling like hotcakes in SNL. Probably. Alright, cool. Like I said, I did not do the full pace lap because I was not going to have you guys sit through for like 5 minutes waiting for things to commence. Alrighty. Yes, Tony Stewart drove part-time for DEI in the Busch Series in 97. So be on the lookout for him in 98. Already with a couple NASCAR wins under his belt while he's been tearing up the open wheel circuit. So he's certainly going to be fun to watch. Let me go ahead and do a little fast forwarding here. What was the thing I heard while playing MLB The Show 07 as a kid? Due to time constraints, or something like that. So now we're a little less than a minute. I'm going to eat part of my dinner real quick, and I'll mute myself, so give me a second here. Hi there, Caroline. The progress on SNL 1998. We've already began some planning stages for that. We have painted some cars, and we'll go full swing with it once we get Restart out. So like I said, 98 will be this summer for sure.
Drivers, start your engines!
There's the magic words, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so, yeah, that's the plan. And then I'd like to get 99 out in the fall. And then be done with the 90s at the end of the year. So, and then jump into the 21st century. So that's kind of the groundwork I have there. So yeah, silly season stuff, once again. We'll cover that when we get there with Sunday Night Lights 1998. I have to do a lot of camera work here for this one. There will be a two-parter, so it'll be a Restart will be a two-parter. It'll cover 81 to 88, and then 89 to 97 for part 2. Okay, pace car down pit road. This will be a fun part to drive through for sure. Okay, here we go. Gordon Moyes leading to the green flag. And we are racing at Le Mans. NASCAR edition. I would play Freebird, but obviously YouTube would kick my butt if I did that. Oh, don't worry. You will see all those silly season changes when the time comes. And there's some big ones coming for sure. Alright, I'm going to take a look at the back of the field here, see if any shenanigans occur. No shenanigans yet. Certainly a good sign. So no big one in turn 1. Although the 37 went way up into the grass, and so did somebody else there. That could have been a little scary there. Will Kerry Earnhardt get a Winston Cup ride soon? It all comes down to it. He's been doing well in Super Sportsman, so again, you'll get an answer to that when 98 comes out for sure. Battle for second between Patty Moyes and Casey Elliott. Man, it's like when you see this camera angle, it's like a big snake of cars. There's a gap there. Was there an accident? I don't know. Doesn't look like it. I see Moyes and Elliott still side by side there for second as Gordon continues to lead. Well, after battling side by side there for a bit, Casey Elliott was able to clear Patty Moyes for second place. Favorite international driver paint scheme? Are you referring to the International All-Star from '96? Man, there were a lot of good ones, and Jets Racing Designs did a phenomenal job with those cars. So it's Jeff Gordon, Casey Elliott, Patty Moyes, Mark Martin, Rick Mast. Then it's Tim Feudua, Hermie Sadler, Todd Bodine, Jimmy Spencer, Elliott Sadler. So the Sadler brothers running pretty good so far here today. And so far, no accidents. Coming back around to complete the first lap. Whoa, Patty. She got a little loose there. She may lose third place here as Gordon leads lap 1. Battle for the lead. Casey Elliott looking to the inside. These two young stars want to put their name in the history books here at Le Mans to say they've won here. Elliott not backing down without a fight. Look at this. Casey Elliott showing up one of the Cup stars, but Jeff Gordon is fighting back. Wow. Jeff Gordon just powering back. I was for sure Elliott was going to run away, but Gordon came back fighting, and the 23 continues to lead. I'm sure if you're Jeff Gordon, you got to be loving it. And Elliott side by side with Gordon again. But again, no luck at all. And yeah, I do love the Cars movies as well. Saw all 3 of them in theaters. And the fact that Pixar is making more sequels, fingers crossed for a 4th one. Yeah, look at that. It's like a long snake of cars. And Casey Elliott going at it again for the lead. Can he get it this time? Man, he's just having a tough time getting past Jeff Gordon right now. Gordon, a very skilled driver on the road courses. So no stranger to being up front on a road course. Not only that, this is Le Mans of all places. Le Mans, I think that's how you say it. Tight corners and long straightaways here at Le Mans. Are you going to have a Taco Bell car in the future? Well, that's always a possibility as I'm finishing up my Taco Bell as we speak. Thoughts about having an Olympic race between nations for SNL 2000? I always thought about like what auto racing as an Olympic sport could look like. Of course, I've done the International All-Star, but that is a fascinating concept. I'm so bummed because they were trying to get auto racing for the not this, but the next Summer Olympics in Los Angeles, 2028. And unfortunately, it didn't make the final cut. I was so bummed because I really would have loved to have seen. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If I was a race car driver, I would want that. Like, dude, that could be really cool to be a part of. So, unfortunately, that wasn't able to happen. I was really bummed by that. I was like, man, that would be so cool. So far, it's the Jeff Gordon and Casey Elliott show. You're creating your car set for the 2024. Oh, that's awesome. I love to see that when you're done. That's pretty cool. But yeah, like I said, I always envision it that maybe it's similar to like a sports car race, like an endurance race, something like that. You know, like one car is like a nation, so you got a couple cars from Team USA, a couple cars from Team Canada, a couple cars from Germany, stuff like that. So it is a fun concept to think about for sure. Man, Casey Elliott is all over the back of Jeff Gordon. Elliott looking to the right side of Gordon, and no luck. And so far, the top five has stayed the same. Who knows, maybe we will see SVG win at Brisbane for the 2032 Olympics. That would be cool. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because those games are taking place in Brisbane, Australia. I think that's the third time Australia's hosted the Summer Games. Because Melbourne hosted it one time, Sydney in 2000, and then, Brisbane. Wow. Huh. Are you sure about that? Let me tell you guys, Connor Zilic, he's only 17 and he's accomplished a lot. Like, I think Trackhouse has a gem. Like, he's going to be good. I mean, he had all those issues at Coda and still did well. Without all those issues, he probably wins. You know that? That young man's got a lot of talent. Let me tell you, I'm really excited to see how he does moving forward. Oh, that's cool, Daniel. I was already a NASCAR fan. When I first saw the trailer for it, I was like, "Oh, Dad, I gotta see this movie." My dad's like, "Oh, you're gonna love this." So that's kind of how that all worked out. I don't. I mean, in real life now, Dale Earnhardt's probably in his 70s at this point. So he's probably, at this point in real life, he's probably done racing. I would say, for sure. Remember when NASCAR was planning to race in China for some weird reason? I think IndyCar was too at one point. I'm pretty sure they were. Because that was during the time when they had a race in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and they had the Motegi race in Japan. At least I'm pretty sure they were planning for one. I don't remember all the details, though, off the top of my head. Kind of curious when we might see some pit stops coming up here. And before I run the third race here today, I will show you guys the teaser again for Sunday Night Lights restart. Right now, still, it is all Jeff Gordon. So we've hit the halfway point already here at Le Mans. Things are looking pretty good for the one they call Wonder Boy, Jeff Gordon. Just out of curiosity, have you guys driven Le Mans in any kind of racing video game? Feel free to comment in the chat. This year, Team USA would have been Larson and Sargent. Certainly Larson, because I just think he can be put in anything and do well in. And Sargent's definitely an interesting choice, obviously being in Formula 1. I know things haven't really gone his way lately, but... Man, Casey Elliott's just waiting to pounce. He's all over the back of Jeff Gordon. Just not able to make that pass, though. Gordon and Elliott. Wait, this isn't 2015. Yeah, it's weird because it comes up as C. Elliott. I gotta remember, whenever you guys do races and you put the points in, I highly recommend. So, for example, if you got like Kurt Busch and Kyle Busch, you know how they both have the first name, the first letter in the first name with a K? I recommend in last name right out fully Kurt Busch and Kyle Busch. Therefore, Score 4 doesn't mix their names up because it will combine their names in the standings. And then you'll be like, how come there's only one K. Busch in there? So, just a fun little thing to know. Same deal here. I had to do Joe Nemechek and John Nemechek, and even with Kelly and Kerry Earnhardt, same deal. Plus, just so again, for ratings purposes and all that, I don't get the names mixed up and all that. So. Is the Viceroy rule in effect for the Super Sportsman Series and the Stock GT Series? I haven't really thought about that, honestly. Not really as of right now. Although you mentioned that, and it kind of reminds me, as we see our leaders making some pit stops, they're making their way down pit road. I wonder if everybody's going to come in at once, or if some guys may stay out and try to play a little bit of strategy. So far, that's not the case. But yeah, I remember, I think it was in like 2004, I think Jimmy Johnson, in which, Hendrick Motorsports was a Pepsi team for many years. And they had Gatorade as a product, right? But I think they had like Powerade Victory Lane or something like that. And I remember one time they put like a Powerade sign on top of his car in Victory Lane, and Johnson actually knocked it off as he got out because Gatorade wasn't going to be happy. And I think there was like a fine or something like that, but I'm trying to remember what it was. Racing Infinity idea about NASCAR racing in China. I mean, there's certainly a lot of possibilities. It's just something I'm going to have to look at and see, what's a good one to do next and all that. Obviously, I'm open to suggestions and ideas, and I love hearing them. The only Chinese track that I know of in NR 2003, I think Shanghai is on there, but I don't know if there's any other track that's in NR. A track that's from China, anyway. Bottlegate. Yeah. It was like a big Powerade bottle or something that he knocked off his car. So Jeff Gordon does remain the leader with Casey Elliott in second. Now Casey's going to have to do some catch-up on Jeff Gordon. Yes, Garage 23 leads the way. Can I at least, kind of sing Freebird, or will YouTube smack me across the face for that? Freebird. Hey, why did the stream quit working? I'm just kidding. I'll provide the Olympic car set for a video. Awesome. Seriously, and I going back to the innovation thing, Hendrick was the right team to do that for the Garage 56 entry. And I've gotten to see that car up close now in Indy and in Daytona. It's really cool to see. Honestly, NASCAR was able to push themselves more into a European market doing that, which could advocate for a future European race, as we see Casey Elliott reeling in Jeff Gordon again. Garage 23 versus Garage 94. Everything's a garage now. I'm kidding. Well, look at Casey. Can he make a run here on the outside? Gordon's going to slam the door on him. Once again, Casey Elliott in a familiar position, but not able to complete the pass. Ooh, man. I thought they made contact for a second. But yeah, I mean, it was just cool seeing even all the memes with Freebird and all that, and seeing how so many people be like, wow, this is really cool to see, seeing this big bad Chevy Camaro stock car racing with all the different sports cars. I mean, some of those pictures I've seen, they go hard. Not gonna lie, they go hard. So yeah, that's pretty neat. And I'm glad NASCAR did something like that because I think that's really important for the sport. SNL prediction. Yeah, I'd love to hear some of your all's SNL predictions. That would be cool. See what you guys think what's going to happen. So you think Gordon will win the 98 championship? All right. Well, hey, I think he's certainly close to one. I think he could have won it in 97 if Rusty Wallace didn't destroy the whole field. So, because Rusty Wallace kind of kicked everyone's butt in 1997 in SNL, so it's crazy to think how much has changed. You know, Earnhardt has won only 3 championships, but he has 3 Daytona 500s. Rusty Wallace is a 4-time champion. You know, we got Bubba Nissen, the female movement. It's crazy to see what has all happened, and it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen within the next several seasons. You think SS Motorsports becomes Ganassi instead of Sapco? We'll see. I mean, Sapco is in really good shape, more than in real life. I mean, Kyle Petty has had a much better career. He's a champion in this timeline. So, he's a champion like his dad, you know. And, of course, you know, pretty soon you're going to be introduced to Adam Petty. How's he going to do? What happens if a female Cup Series driver wins the championship? I think that would be huge in the sports world. I think that would be a big deal. You saw Shauna do it in 93 with the Busch Series. So, you know, it would be a really big deal. Meanwhile, Casey Elliott, is this the one? Is this the one? Can he get around Gordon side by side battling for the lead as we have 3 laps to go? Casey Elliott, has he cleared Gordon? I saw Gordon make this move before. My God, how does he do it? Jeff Gordon just powers right past Casey Elliott. Casey Elliott must be sitting there going, what do I have to do to get around this man? What do I got to do? But he's hanging tough still. Patty Moyes is caught up to the bunch. They're still battling side by side. Wow. Man, Casey is not letting go this time. He wants this. Did you know that Jimmy Johnson, former NFL coach, was in a commercial? I think he was, but I'm trying to remember what it was. I know this isn't football, but one of my favorite commercials was Gillette. I love the Gillette Young Guns commercials. I love those commercials. And the one when John Cena was like, all right, you guys taught me the race. Now I'm going to teach you guys how to wrestle. And it was like Newman, Hamlin, Casey Kane, a few others. And, I think Carl Edwards gave him the 5-knuckle shuffle, and then Newman jumps from the ring, puts Cena through a table. Newman! It was so funny. Wow, Casey, man, he's dropped back. Oh, Mark Martin almost got into him. That is a shame. But now Patty Moyes is looking to challenge Jeff Gordon. Let's see. You predict Patty Moyes will be the Cup champion. I think she could pull it off. I certainly think she could. It would be huge if a female won the Cup Series championship. And meanwhile, new leader, Patty Moyes. And that Mattel 45 Pontiac Mark Martin is looking for second. Oh my goodness, man. You hate it for Casey Elliott. He's trying to been looking for any kind of way to get past Jeff Gordon, and he has had no luck at all today. Girl power? Most certainly, right? And Patty Moyes pulls away. Mark Martin trying to take second from Jeff Gordon. Still with 3 laps to go. And a lot of racing left to go. I mean, this is an 8.4 mile long circuit, so a lot could still happen. So Martin has cleared Gordon for second. Elliott will have to settle for fourth for the time being. I remember a few years ago that there was a rumor of an actual NASCAR-themed wrestling game that was going to happen. Really? Huh. I haven't heard that one, I'll be honest. Interesting. I know there were some early concepts for stuff for NASCAR 10 before EA Sports dropped the NASCAR series or something like that. Patient Patty. I like that one. Race of Laguna Seca could be interesting for sure. Just count on TD1. Okay. Alright, we are coming back to 2 laps to go. And Patty Moyes still leads. That was definitely a hoax. Ah, okay. Like I said, I haven't heard that one. So can Patty Moyes hang on for the win? Or will Martin, Gordon, Elliott, or someone else go at it? Put that down there. Anyway. You know, and to think, you look back on it, and we'll touch it in restart, but just to look back on, that Michigan race in '89 and Patty winning it, and how much that really changed so much for the sport, and it's pretty cool to see. Down the long straightaway, followed by a little bit of a bus stop, or at least something similar to it. A27 Neutron, how you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. And for any new people in the stream, again, I will be showing a teaser to Sunday Night Lights Restart right after this race and before we jump into our third and final race. When John Cena yelled out Newman and then Newman jumped on him. Yeah. That was funny. I think John Cena and Carl Edwards were actually really good friends, I think. Oh god, the original SNL. I still have some stuff from that hidden away somewhere. Deep in the archives, but yeah, I'm glad I didn't go with it, I don't think it would have painted racing in the most positive light that I could, so glad I went with this instead. That's one of those moments where I look back and go, what on God's green earth was I thinking? A gray speed iceberg? Oh, God. I don't know if I want to go down that rabbit hole. Some of the cringy content I made back when I was like 13. Okay, yeah, so there was an original. Again, this was like, I was thinking of this like back in 2018. I have no idea why I was thinking of this idea at all. But the original Sunday Night Lights was going to be like, it's going to start in 2001. And I was going to do something where the 01 500 got, there's like a terrorist attack happened, and, the season changes a lot, and stuff like that. Yeah, it was... I'll probably go into full detail later on at some point, I don't know. It was just a very weird concept, and especially, I was going to start that in 01, the same year that, something else already happened, so it was just kind of like, after a while, I was like, I need to go back to the drawing board. So, and I'm glad I did, so. I have a theory that Hot Wheels probably makes that they probably make Mattel a lot of money with drivers like Patty, Shauna, and Kyle Petty and all that. It wouldn't surprise me. Again, big shout out to Rose Jam for painting that Barbie car. Because, I think it's a cool concept because it will help, attract a new demographic of fans into the sport, So that was kind of the idea behind it. Now I have become Death, the Destroyer of Worlds. Yes, Operation Barbenheimer. That's what took over the summer of 2023. Barbenheimer. What a crazy time. Will we see Austin Petty? I might have heard that name before. Again, anything's possible. I can't give much of an answer right now. But anything's certainly possible. Might have to do some research on that one. He did race, but it sounds like it wasn't in his passion based on this article. Interesting. I didn't know. Oh my God, Patty! I look up and Patty Moyes blew her motor on the last lap. Oh my God, no! Oh my God, I was looking up something about a mention of Austin Petty. I look up, and Patty Moyes has blown her engine. She is out of the race. Mark Martin has taken the lead. This is the second stream in a row where something crazy has happened at the end of a race. What in the world? Oh my God. Why Patty, man? Oh my God, I'm in Spain without the S. Oh my God, yeah, she's smoking on 420. This is the 420 stream. Dang it. We had a blown motor on 420. Man. Oh, Mark Martin's probably going to run away with this one. Oh. Since Jeff Byrne has a Cartoon Network car, I hope we see Nickelodeon in the future. Certainly, you never know. Will the female movement continue to build up steam? I think it will. I most certainly think it will. It's going to be interesting to see after Patty and Shauna retire, in the future, who's going to be the next female stars after those drivers and Kelly Earnhardt and Tammy Jo. Anyway, in the final corners, Patty Moyes' engine has expired, and it's going to be Mark Martin, the driver for Bud Moore, pulling away. He will win at Le Mans. Have you ever? Goodness. Drama on the final lap. It's going to be a long way to push that 45 car back around, too. This is a long course. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Patty Moyes' engine lets go at the worst possible time. On 420 of all days. On 4 freaking 20. Insane. Absolute insanity. You really hate to see it. So, Ernie Irvan and Mark Martin are your winners so far. It's been all the Fords. And coming up next, our main event. It's going to be the 1997 Winston Cup at regular Talladega instead of the one we've grown accustomed to in Sunday Night Lights. And of course, before that, I will show you guys the little teaser again for Sunday Night Lights restart here in just a bit. Man, why Patty, man? Mark deserves a win. He can't even get the key to his own hometown in real life. Well, I mean, Mark's a little more successful in this timeline than in real life. He's the 1990 Winston Cup champion. He's gotten a good amount of wins. It's been a bit on the downside lately, but he's still competitive and he's still doing well. That's going to be fun to touch up on that too and restart. Will Rusty Wallace go 2 for 2? You know what? I'm putting my prediction on that. Somehow Rusty Wallace is like, there's gonna be like a bunch of wrecks. There's gonna be like 12 cars left, and somehow Rusty's gonna win. I'm sitting there going, man, you cannot. I was not familiar with your game. Alright, well, you can take a look at your final standings there. Will there be a Weezer car? Yeah, what's with these homies dissing my girl? Sorry, I had to. I mean, one idea I had, and it will not be until later on, when we get to, like, the Chevy Rock and Roll 400, like, later on down the road, it would be cool if somehow we got, like, a music artist or a band to sponsor every car. That would be really cool. Again, just a crazy idea I had. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. You know, it would be cool, but it just depends on how I proceed with things down the road, of course. So, let me show you the second half there. Yeah, Patty Moyes ends up 41st after her engine committed die. Maybe Mark Martin gets the key to Batesville in the SNL timeline. I don't see why not. He is a champion in this timeline. So, something to remember. I always like seeing the pop culture paint schemes. Yeah, oh yeah, certainly. You know, it's cool to witness. It's cool to see all that, just in hopes that, you know, you can try and bring in, again, new demographics and new fans into the sport. You know, I kind of laugh because I remember the video of Jeff Green. He was driving the Cheerios Yu-Gi-Oh car. And Mike Joy kept calling it Yu-Gi-Oh or something like that. it was just funny for some reason. Like, there's Jeff Green there and with the Yu-Gi-Oh car, and then they were trying to like Mike, Larry, and Daryl were trying to explain what Yu-Gi-Oh was. It's like, yeah, it's actually Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay. I remember I collected some Yu-Gi-Oh cards when I was a kid. Yeah, there was a Pokemon card too. There was a Pokemon card at some point. You're right. Alright, I think I've shown the standings enough. Hey, it showed the right card this time. For those of you that missed it, when I showed this for the truck race, it showed like a 46 truck from like the original car set. It was weird. Alright, so... So real quick before we do get to the final race tonight, what's the funniest moment from Mike Joy? Oh man. Mike Joy is a great historian and an absolute national treasure. That's a tough one. I don't know. Again, I apologize. There's supposed to be car sounds here, but I thought it would work if I did it this way. Yes, it did not work. I apologize for that. Again, here's again a first look at Sunday Night Lights restart. With Eric Senna return to the Cup Series. Obviously he's still alive in this timeline. Truth be told, just depends. I don't really know. Just kind of depends on what happens, among other things, and certain things. If certain things make sense. So I'll let that loop a few times so you guys can see that again. Part 1 premiering Friday, May 3rd. That is the plan. And again, next Saturday, I would like to do a Racing Infinity live, but I'm not going to 100% confirm that right now because, again, I just, it really depends on just getting things done and getting things completed well. And if I feel like I need that time to continue to work on and start, instead, again, stay tuned for that. I'll give you guys updates on what's going on. Potential stream next Saturday. Once again, I'm really excited to get to show all this in a better way because, and I mean by that is improving on the quality, using free cam, updating the graphics. That's something that I started to do for the 93 to 95 video, and since then, the videos have just looked so much better, and that's going to be the standard moving forward for sure. And I want to continue to do all this. I would love to, like I said, I would like to get all the way to present day and beyond if possible. It's a long grind, but I would certainly love to do it. I love seeing the SNL discussions and the SNL predictions. I think they're great. Love seeing that. Yeah. I'll go ahead and change this. And I'll get ready for Talladega. The regular Talladega. Of course, fitting since the Cup race is tomorrow and we have the Xfinity and ARCA races today. Yeah, I'll do 38 laps, why not? You know, I just realized I'm still in the Busch series. Oh my god, it just dawned upon me. I'm so sorry, guys. Alright, where are you, Winston Cup mod? There you are. Okay. There we go. IndyCar at Talladega. Oh man. That sounds dangerous. But, maybe down the road that could certainly be a possible Racing Infinity. Why was there a super speedway disaster? So, how I see it is, leading up to that, there were some pretty wild wrecks, considering that in the earlier years, I tried to go as long as I could by doing unrestricted racing on the super speedways. And I think just after a while, with all the crazy wrecks and all that, this is just an idea of NASCAR taking a bigger initiative earlier for safer racing. Because I'm going to say it, I refuse to kill off a driver. I just cannot do that. I just, it wouldn't feel right to me to do that. So, it's just a way of something really bad happens, and finally NASCAR just went, okay, we got to do something here. Because I remember, I think it was Speed Weeks 94. I remember that there was a big drivers meeting, and I just remember Rusty Wallace saying, I'm tired of losing my friends. So, in a way, this is a scenario where NASCAR is going, okay, people are going to die if we don't do something. Let's jump to this. And I will go more into that in Restart as well. For sure. I will go more into that. So, alright. Now that I actually have the 97 Cup cars, you can see what occurs here. Alright, who is on the pole?
Drivers, to your cars.
That's an interesting front row. Okay, Bobby Labonte and Dale Jarrett, followed by Tim Richmond and Bubba Nissen. But again, we could get a surprise winner for all we know, right? Yeah, that was after Neil Bonnet and Rodney Orr. Yeah. Yeah, that was a really touching speech, because it's like, yeah, I mean, at that point, it's like, when does this all stop? And then finally, it wasn't sadly until after Dale, that finally NASCAR said, okay, this needs to stop. Or at least they were trying to, but now they finally went, okay, changes need to be made now. So, I'll figure out the mods in the meantime, for sure, and I'll get more into that, too, when we get into SNL 98. Alright.
Drivers, to your cars.
Let's take a look at our starting lineup. Bobby Labonte on the pole. Next to him is Dale Jarrett, who's been on a bit of a renaissance in the Busch Series. Then you got Tim Richmond and the 96 champion, Bubba Nissen. Jeff Green and Davey Allison looking to win a home race here today, followed by Rob Moroso and Steve Grissom. Kelly Earnhardt and Alan Kowicki behind them. And we just saw these two race over at Le Mans. They had to quickly fly their way back to Talladega, Alabama. Jeff Gordon and Patty Moyes, and hopefully her engine does not expire this time. Joe Nemechek and Bobby Hamilton. Ricky Rudd, Shauna Robinson, Dale Earnhardt, Ricky Craven. Then Lake Speed and Rusty Wallace. Oh, wait a minute. That was on the shift key there. Sorry. Tammy Jo Kirk and Sterling Marlin, who's had a career year. David Green and Morgan Shepherd. And you got Clifford Allison and Kyle Petty, a pair of Pontiacs in that row. Michael Waltrip, followed by Chad Little in the 97. Ernie Irvin and our Le Mans winner, Mark Martin. So, how about that? Our two winners tonight actually in the same row together. Bill Elliott and Ward Burton, Terry Labonte and Terry Schoonover, Jeff Burton, Robert Presley, Wally Dallenbach, and Kenny Brack. Kenny Brack's going to be entering this race. Ken Schrader and Eddie Bierschwell. And then Kenny Wallace and Darrell Waltrip round out your field. It's just for fun. It's just fun little mock races that we're doing here. Daytona will be left alone. And, nothing changes there. The only thing that changed was that the summer race got moved to the road course. But yeah, Daytona, that track will remain untouched. Nothing will happen to Daytona. So.
Drivers, start your engines!
Huh. Well, something weird happened there at the start. I should say before the start. What in the world happened here? Oh, I think we had a 2002 EA Sports 500 moment. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. So it looks like Morgan Shepherd was having an issue getting going here, and Ward Burton just went right into him. Oh. Kenny Wallace, too. Okay, then. So I guess we're starting the race under yellow. Well, that's a promising start. Okay. Well, that's fun. Unless it doesn't count the laps right away, I'm not entirely sure. Alright, lights are off on the pace car. And we will try this again. Yeah, it's a reverse LePage, exactly. Alright, we are set and ready to go. The 4 and 29 cars are still on pit road. That's a shame. We are 2 hours into this live stream. Thank you guys so much for tuning in as we're doing the third and final race of our mock races here this evening. And who is going to win here on the high banks of Talladega? Pace car goes down pit road. Bobby Labonte, Dale Jarrett lead the field to the green flag as they go through the tri-oval. And on the other side will be the start-finish line and the green flag. And here we go. We are underway from Talladega. And immediately we're going 3 wide for the lead. And Jeff Green is looking to take the lead. And he does. Get ready because there will be plenty of lead changes. 38 laps in this one. Yes, this is restricted. Back to the start-finish line. And Kelly Earnhardt is credited with leading that lap, and immediately everybody is almost driving like it's the last lap. Every single lap so far. We're just 2 laps in, but honestly, man, we're already had like 2 lead changes in just that single lap. Who knows how many more we will have. Alan Kowicki dips to the inside, makes it 3 wide for second. He's got Patty Moyes behind him. Kowicki goes high. Moyes goes to the middle lane. And it's still Kelly Earnhardt out in front. Well, I guess Morgan Shepherd has rejoined the track, so we'll see if that causes any kind of issues up ahead. As Kelly Earnhardt leads, Tammy Jo Kirk is second. And Clifford Allison now has made his way into the top 5. He is in third. And now they approach Morgan Shepherd. And Clifford Allison held up for a moment there. Now he's getting held up even more as these 3 cars here of Earnhardt, Irvin, and Kirk have pulled away. And now Kyle Petty is in 4th. And immediately this lap car is going to split the field up. Kelly Earnhardt continues to lead, but that may change now as Ernie Irvin looks to the inside, but Earnhardt's going to slam the door on him. Tammy Jo Kirk still in third. Kelly Earnhardt taking in after her father on how to handle the super speedways. And now Tammy Jo Kirk looks to the inside. No help, however, unless she can get into the draft of the 14. Kyle Petty dips down to the inside. Now we see Terry Labonte joining the fray as well. Michael Waltrip now also up there in contention. And look who he has help from. That's his older brother, DW. The Waltrips have teamed up. Could we get a Waltrip 1-2 here today, perhaps? Nothing crazy so far as Kelly Earnhardt has been leading since lap 2. Now Kyle Petty is in the mix. He is in second. Terry Labonte third. Jeff Burton now up to fourth. Now things remain rather calm so far, as this front pack here is single file of Kelly Earnhardt, Kyle Petty, Jeff Burton. As I say that, Terry Labonte looks to the inside. I see Steve Grissom, Bubba Nissen. How about Kenny Brack up in that mix as well? Perhaps Kenny Brack trying to surprise some people. Jeff Burton to the inside. He's going to take Bubba Nissen and Kenny Brack and Chad Little with him. Meanwhile, it is still Kelly Earnhardt out in front. Bubba Nissen now to the inside of Jeff Burton looking for second, and he will get that. Darrell Waltrip also up there in the mix, as well as Lake Speed and Mark Martin. Kelly Earnhardt so far proven she's got the best setup and the best car here this afternoon. Definitely going to be tough to beat. Now we see Lake Speed there on the inside. Everyone except Morgan Shepherd still in this one gigantic pack of cars. There's now Lake Speed looking to take second. Sterling Marlin behind him, as well as Patty Moyes. Now Lake Speed moves up high. See Bobby Hamilton up there in the 43. Still plenty of racing here to go as we now come to lap 11. Patty Moyes trying to take the lead, but she has no help at the moment. She may get some help from Terry Schoonover. As we got some girl power up front here. Two female stars going for the lead. Kelly Earnhardt and Patty Moyes. Moyes looking for any kind of help as everybody is still scrambling behind her. Looks like Davey Allison may try to give her a push. 3 wide, all sorts of 3 wide back there. Meanwhile, for the moment, Patty Moyes has taken the lead, but now Davey Allison may have something to say about that. And of course, everyone's favorite Rusty Wallace up there in the mix as well. Patty Moyes trying to lead the field back to the start and finish line, and it looks like most likely she will, but now she's in a dilemma. Who's she going to go with? She goes all the way down. She's going to go with her teammate, Shauna Robinson. 3 of the female drivers up towards the front. And now the female stars, 3 wide for the lead. Kelly Earnhardt, that is, Patty Moyes and Shauna Robinson. Robinson takes the lead. Now we're looking for a third different female driver to lead today. Perhaps we could complete all 4 of them, perhaps, if Tammy Jo Kirk gets up here and leads some laps. Shauna Robinson continuing to lead. Alan Kowicki jumps to second. You see Clifford Ellison there in that middle line. Now he jumps up high. Kowicki in second. Jeff Gordon up to third. All female drivers so far here at Talladega. It's been Kelly Earnhardt, and then Patty Moyes, and now Shauna Robinson out in front. Of course, Robinson, a pretty strong super speedway racer herself, winning the 1994 Daytona 500. Ricky Craven in the 37 is fourth, now looking for third. May have some help from Tim Richmond. Indeed he does. Jeff Gordon stuck on the outside as well as Dale Earnhardt. Craven dips down low with Ricky Rudd. And what do you know? Tammy Jo Kirk just happens to be up here. So maybe it's destiny to have all 4 female stars in the field lead today. And as I say that, Tammy Jo Kirk does go up to the outside, trying to work with the 51 car of Tim Richmond. She goes back down to the inside. Just in front of the 8 of Eddie Bierschwell. Craven and Ricky Rudd battling for third, as Robinson continues to lead. Of course, Shauna Robinson and Dale Earnhardt were battling for the win in that Colorado race in the last stream, and which ended in disaster and leading to Rusty Wallace taking the win. We'll see if things are a little different here today. Ricky Rudd now up to second. And that is Ricky Craven up there in the 37. Bobby Hamilton, Davey Allison up in the mix as well. And battle for the lead. Here comes Ricky Rudd. A man who's gotten it done on super speedways before. The 1993 winner of the Daytona 500. Correction, 1996 winner of the Daytona 500. 1993 was the year he won the championship for Hendrick Motorsports. Ricky Rudd and longtime sponsor Gatorade. Now it's the battle of the Rickies. Ricky Rudd on the outside, Ricky Craven on the inside. We may have the 3 R's. Robert Presley in the 81. He's looking to creep into the picture. Instead of reading, writing, arithmetics, it's Ricky, and Robert. I don't know if I did that joke correctly. If I didn't, well, I most certainly apologize. Rudd continues to lead. Actually, now, let me think here. Well, if you wanted to combine it, you can go Ricky, Robert, Robinson. Followed by an S in Schoonover. It's Terry Schoonover joining in on the fun. He's entering the top 5 in that Spam Chevrolet. And now Ricky Craven to the inside of Ricky Rudd. And does Craven got him? Did Craven get him? Craven got him. Ricky Craven takes the lead. And Robert Presley now goes to the inside. He wants to lead. Terry Schoonover wants to lead. Everybody wants to lead here at Talladega as we have just about 20 laps to go. Certainly a lot of lead changes left to go. So many that I will lose count as Terry Schoonover now leads. You see the 29 of Morgan Shepherd all the way back there by his lonesome. And now Rob Moroso is entering the fray. You see Sterling Marlin, Jeff Gordon, Jeff Green on that inside line. Rainbow Rick. I like that one. Or Rainbow Ricky. You could do that too. Rainbow Ricky. Why am I... Okay, now, if anybody remembers Codename Kids Next Door from Cartoon Network when I was a kid, remember the Rainbow Monkeys, Rainbow Monkeys? Anybody remember that? Or is it just me? Did Dale Jarrett try to sing? There were 2 music albums. They tried to make NASCAR drivers and the singers. Oh, yeah, I think I heard about those. Yeah. Those are from way back in the day, right? I remember hearing about those. Terry Schoonover, the other half of SS Motorsports, leading the way. Look who's on that inside line there, that MasterCard Chevrolet of Kenny Brack, the man who stunned everyone at the International All-Star Race, winning the International Open and making it all the way to the big show. As that burp came out of nowhere like an RKO. And back to the front, it's Kelly Earnhardt, followed by Kenny Brack. And Ken Schrader. Now it's Kelly, Kenny, and Ken. Or Kenny Schrader. You could do that too. Rusty Wallace up there in the picture as well. They're catching up on that lap car of Morgan Shepherd again, so quick heads up there. Brack goes up to the outside, Schrader to the inside. Schrader moves up to second. And watch out, there's Rusty Wallace. He's there with Bill Elliott, Ernie Irvin, a pair of Fords teaming up there on the inside line. Excuse me. The ladies have most certainly been ruling the day, I agree. Will it be like that at the end of the race, however? Only time will tell. Kelly Earnhardt continuing to lead. We've seen 3 of the female drivers lead here today. Earnhardt leading the 2 AK Racing Fords of Ernie Irvin and Alan Kowicki. Darrell Waltrip there on the inside. The 11 and the 7 working together. AK Racing, of course, had a big year in 1997. And they're looking to continue that going into 1998. Kyle Petty up to 4th. Michael Waltrip looking to take 5th. I believe he's battling his brother Darrell Waltrip for position here. And down the back straightaway, they have caught Morgan Shepherd again. Who's going to be lucky? Who's not going to be so lucky? And that outside middle lane, that outside lane, held up. Now Dale Jarrett is entering the fray as well. He's back up there. Chad Little as well, the 1996 Busch Series champion. Kawicki looks to the inside of Kelly Earnhardt. He may have an opportunity here if he can get a push from Kyle Petty and Michael Waltrip and others. Kyle Petty, though, he's going to stay with Kelly Earnhardt. Kawicki may not have the advantage going into turn 3. We'll see. They remain side by side. Once Dale Earnhardt retires from the Cup Series, do you think one of his 3 children will succeed? Let me see this. Will succeed him full time? I mean, we're still a ways out from that. Anything's possible. I can't give much away because, obviously I don't know what's going to happen. There's so many different ideas I have in the back of my head, but obviously, got to do the races and see how it all goes down. New leader, that is Alan Kawicki, the Polish Prince, out in front with some help from his teammate Ernie Irvan, but now the Roush Ford of Darrell Waltrip taking that position from Irvan. Ooh. Oh my God, what in the world? Some cars went down the apron, nearly causing a wreck. The 36 of Wally Dallenbach came to a stop on the apron. I feel like perhaps his car broke down. That could have been dangerous. No caution, though, as Larry Mack would say. No caution. No caution. Dale Jarrett's song was called Racetrack Fever. I listened on YouTube, almost busted a gut. Did he try to do a parody of Back Scratch Fever? Or whatever it was. Was it Back Scratch Fever? Oh, I'm having a brain fart. Anyway. The Underbird up high is now Ricky Rudd. Takes the lead. Bobby Hamilton up to second in the Petty 43. Coming to the line. 12 laps to go. Oh, man. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So sorry. So with that, Ricky Rudd leading. Lake Speed is now second. Oh, so much better. Okay. How's the race has been good. There's been a lot of lead changes, a lot of fun action. And can't really tell you who's going to win this race. It's been a fun one so far. Bless you. Thank you. For some reason, I have this thing where sometimes I'll have sneezing fits. So my dad would jokingly say sometimes when that happens, he says, after about the third time, I have to say, get that under control. What was your funniest NASCAR commercial besides the Gillette one? One that I really liked as a kid was Michael Waltrip and Dale Jr. I always thought they made the funniest commercials. They did a Domino's one. It was like 2005. They did a Domino's one. It was like the drivers pulling into the garage area saying like, hey, on race day, you can get some really good deals on pizza or something like that. And walks into the garage. I got an order from Mr. NASCAR. That's me. Meanwhile, new leader Steve Grissom in the 41. But anyway, he's like, that's me. And he's like, oh yeah, well, mine's for the king of NASCAR. Well, mine's for the emperor of NASCAR. And they keep going on and on about the whole thing. The crew members are coming up, taking the pizza. They keep going on. And then just Michael Waltrip, El Presidente de NASCAR. And then Dale Jr. finishes it off, King Daddy! I just love that commercial. Just the King Daddy always kills it for me. Speaking of Earnhardt, we got Dale Earnhardt Sr. out in front. That black number 3 GM Goodwrench Service Plus Chevrolet. We may have the men in black here in a second. Tim Richmond in that Exxon Chevrolet is behind him. Looking for second. Pole sitter Bobby Labonte's up there. Jeff Green, Dale Earnhardt's teammate, is up there as well. That in a beautiful Budweiser 31 car. If they race like this tomorrow, it would be awesome. I think we're in for a good race tomorrow. I think it'll be a fun one. Yep, it is indeed the men in black out in front. Dale Earnhardt and Tim Richmond. The Intimidator versus Days of Thunder. Terry Schoonover, Jeff Green up there. Kenny Brack back in the mix again. 8 laps to go at the line. Oh my god, yeah, the Casey Kane Allstate commercials. Oh my god. Yeah, because Casey Kane was like a ladies' man back then. Like, all the girls loved him. Oh, look at this. 4 wide back here. Look at this. It was 4 wide for a second, but now it's calmed down. These 3 cars are broken away, but not for long. As Terry Schoonover tries to compete against the men in black. But no success there. But yeah, those Allstate commercials were hilarious because, like, they would be distracted by, like, these fantasies of Casey Kane, and then, like, you know, something crazy would happen. Look out! You know, like, look out! You know, stuff like that. There were some funny Nextel ones when it was the Nextel Cup, the walkie-talkies. What was the Jamie McMurray Casey Kane one? I think McMurray, like, I think Casey Kane pulled a rabbit out of the helmet. It's like, oh yeah, gets the walkie-talkie out. Bring me the bunny. The crew just runs over, takes the rabbit, and gives it to McMurray or Kane or whoever it was. I know it was McMurray and Kane, but Dynaco's all mine. Yeah, we're gonna have a Dynaco's all mine moment, perhaps. Terry Schoonover up to second, but now Kelly Earnhardt trying to chase after her father. She goes up high, however. She might have gotten tricked. Patty Moyes now in the mix up to third. Nobody has pit so far. I hope I'm not jinxing anything, but can they make it the rest of the way? Dale Rex Tim, lol. Only seems fitting. There is a lap car up ahead. That is David Green in the 98 car. Don't call me senior. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember the Dale call. Oh, yeah. They sold merchandise of that, pretty sure, too. I remember that. And Patty Moyes is right there, ready to pounce, wanting to take the lead from the Intimidator. They approach the lapped car of David Green. Lake Speed is up to third. Clifford Allison up to fourth and in search of his first career win. His brother is right behind him in Davey Allison. And Speed to the inside of Patty Moyes. Can he get to the draft of Earnhardt and take second away? Ooh, yeah, well, it's interesting I brought this up this late in the race. Dale Earnhardt and Joe Nemechek go down pit road, so who knows what that means and where they're going to end up. The Napa Know-How, oh yeah. God, they were playing many good commercials. New leader, Clifford Allison, member of the Alabama gang, out in front. We saw Earnhardt and Nemechek pit, however. Who else has to pit? Do all the leaders have to pit? So many question marks right now for our leaders. 3 wide for the lead. Kelly Earnhardt back out in front, getting help from Ernie Irvin in the 11. But now does Kelly have to pit? Excuse me for the voice crack. It looks like she will. Yes, she will. She will go down pit road among a few other several others. Blah, 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 blah. How do you speak English? Oh, we got a crash on the front stretch. We got a crash here late. The caution is out. It's Rob Moroso in the 20 car. What in the world just happened? Oh my goodness. Drama here late. Oh, there's a big stack up here. Nissen and Gordon wreck. Richmond gets in a Nissen, and Richmond gets hit by Rob Moroso. So Tim Richmond with some heavy damage. He and Moroso are certainly done for the day. Nissen's got heavy damage. Dale Jarrett with some damage. Jeff Gordon with some damage. Now the question is, who in the world is out in front, and are we going to get back to racing in enough time? It appears the leader right now is Ernie Irvan. Steve Grissom is second. Chad Little is third. Alan Kowicki is fourth, although I'm seeing some indications that some leaders will have to pit. So we are coming to 2 laps to go, and the question is, who has enough fuel? We could be in for a wild and perhaps controversial finish here this afternoon. Ernie Irvan sees his boss go down pit road. He is trying to save his fuel, as well as Grissom, Little, Moyes, and Speed, and whoever else. So the race will end under caution. Since this game did come out in 2003, after all. But the real question is anybody going to pit coming to the white flag or the checkered flag? And if that happens, then who wins? Wild finish here at Talladega. Patty Moyes' Barbie commercials must be fun to... Oh, yeah, I'm sure she would have some banger commercials, for sure. She would have some great commercials. Oh, I'm sure there'll be funny commercials for the What If drivers. I mean, come on. Alan Kowicki would be doing Hooters commercials at this point. I really think he would. He's that kind of guy, you know? He's a businessman. He knows what he needs to do. Maybe, Davey Allison does a Mountain Dew ad or something like that. Sometimes I think about that and how cool that would all be. So we will be coming to the white flag this time by. Do the set of leaders here have enough? We will find out in just moments. Again, this race will end under caution, and it looks like Ernie Irvan is on his way to a win. Meaning that he will win 2 of the 3 races here this evening. Again, we have 1 lap to go. The race is not over yet, but it will end under yellow flag conditions with that wreck there on the front stretch. White flag for Ernie Irvan. Tough for guys like Earnhardt and Nemechek and Kelly Earnhardt and all those drivers who had to pit, and unfortunately the odds did not go in their favor. Meanwhile, it's a good day in Cincinnati. The Reds win and FC Cincinnati win. Yay! That's always good. Tim Steele might do. He could do, yeah. I mean, it just depends where he winds up and everything. So many things that still need to play out, and what all occurs for 98, still planning all that. Again, just to make sure, Ernie Irvan will win as long as he doesn't pit. So, as long as he stays out here, he will take this W. He will take that number 11 Ford to victory lane for AK Racing, Alan Kowicki's team. Excuse me. And looks like, yeah, everybody's gonna stay out and stay where they are, and we are coming to the checkers under the yellow flag. It'd be good finishes for the likes of Steve Grissom and Chad Little, Lake Speed, Jeff Burton, Kenny Brack, Eddie Bierschwell. But the day goes to Ernie Irvan and AK Racing, and Ernie Irvan will win at Talladega. And there you have it. So, Ernie Irvan is your winner. Steve Grissom is second. Chad Little third. Patty Moyes fourth. Lake Speed in fifth. Sixth was Jeff Burton. Tammy Jo Kirk seventh. Eddie Bierschwell eighth. Kenny Brack ninth. And Rusty Wallace in 10th. And you see the rest of your finishing order. You see Dale Earnhardt. No, that's Kelly Earnhardt all the way back to 21st. Dale Earnhardt back to 28th. And again, Ernie Irvan. We had the Ford Suite tonight. And Ernie Irvan winning the Truck Series and the Winston Cup Series race. So it's been a good day for him. Especially in SNL 97. He definitely had a career year. Definitely turned things around. Perhaps Ernie could, jeez. It's getting late. Could perhaps Ernie be a championship contender in 98? Well, I guess time will tell. Once again, May 3rd. Part 1 of Sunday Night Lights restart. Stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for more information as we get closer to that. And again, if y'all have any questions, I know we've been going at it for about 2 hours and 40 minutes now. So if you guys have any questions or anything before I log off for the night, just let me know. I can already tell some of the leaders ran out of gas. At least the race is over, so. Swervin' Irvan indeed. Oh, I'm sorry, my mic cut out. What in the world? Yeah, I was saying we had some drama at the end of each race this time around. AK Racing and Ernie Irvan. Yeah, they certainly make the perfect match. So far, so good, right? This was like his big opportunity to really go out and make things happen, and he did so. So we had the pit stops at the end of the Dodge truck race. The Patty Moyes blowing her motor at the end of the Busch race, and then the Cup race with the wreck at the end. Lots of lead changes. And Ernie Irvan winning the race under caution. And, of course, as I mentioned, Sunday Night Lights restart will be Friday, May 3rd. And that'll be part 1. The plan will be part 2 to be the week after. And, again, next Saturday, I am not confirming it, but I'd like to do a Racing Infinity Live next Saturday. That is if I feel like I have time to do it. If I don't have the time to do it, then I'll let you guys know that saying, hey, I won't. I'm going to keep, grinding away at restart and making sure that all looks as good as it can. So, again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your all support. It means a lot. Seriously, thank you guys so much. I'm glad you all enjoy this content, and I'm going to continue to make it no matter what, because it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun, and I've been telling people at work about it, and they're like, "Yeah, that's pretty cool. They actually do that kind of stuff," and just try to spread the love for racing, because racing's a beautiful thing. It really is. Looking forward to seeing some early Sunday Night Lights. Yep. It's going to be fun to look back on everything and, again, doing just a kind of a look back on everything in a much better way, too, and better quality. So it's going to be good. It's certainly going to be good. Besides that, you guys enjoy the rest of your 420. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the Cup race tomorrow. I'm sure it'll be a good one. I picked to win Ross Chastain. I probably jinxed him, knowing me. We'll see. That or SVG winning would be cool. With that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning into the stream. It's been a lot of fun hanging out with you all, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the evening and a wonderful rest of your weekend. Take care, everyone.